The Seakeeper gyro eliminates 70 to 90% of a boat's roll in an all-internal system with nothing outside the hull. And as Grant Halkin explains, the future is here.
We're installing Seakeeper gyros on board 68-foot Hatteras, Dick Landfield's boat, Rio Quest. Any boat can be refitted with Seakeeper gyros. The most important thing is taking into account what space is available, where the gyros can be structurally bonded to the hull. That's the most important part. The location of the gyro does not matter at all. The only requirement is that it is bonded structurally to the hull. Inside the sphere, we have a very heavy spinning flywheel. And that flywheel, it's like a top. It wants to stay upright at all times. There's stored kinetic energy, and as the boat rolls, the gyro processes forward and aft, and that counteracts that roll and dampens that roll before it even starts. And that's what provides the roll reduction. The Seakeeper gyro, as I mentioned, has a spinning flywheel inside the sphere. And in that sphere, we operate that flywheel in a vacuum, so that it's very low air resistance and the noise is kept down because you don't have air friction. And that requires much less power. It's a very low power consumption unit in order to get it spooled up and keep it operational. Our units only require 3 kW to spool up and about 1 to 1.5 kW to stay operational. Now that spinning flywheel, as I mentioned, it's stored kinetic energy. So as the vessel rolls, because that frame of the gyro is structurally bonded to the hull, that gyro wants to stay upright. So as the vessel rolls to port or starboard, the gyro will precess forward or aft. And that precession is creating torque as it precesses. And that torque is the righting force that keeps the boat level. It's like if you were to spin a top on a tabletop and try and knock it over. You can't knock it over if it's spinning at a high rate of speed. Since 2008, when we first started selling and shipping gyros, we've sold over 1,500 gyros on over 130 different boat brands. And about 40% of our business is refits. All boats out there can be refitted. And many manufacturers around the world, including Azimut, Princess, Sea Ray, just to name a few, are putting us in at the factory level, as well as Viking and many of the sport fish manufacturers. We've designed it to be very versatile since refits are a big part of our business. We wanted to be as non-invasive as possible. Gyro can be broken down completely and the sphere removed to break it down to the smallest possible dimension. And in this application, we were able to break that gyro down to fit through the engine hatch without having to cut big holes in the boat or major modifications. It was a very non-invasive type operation. We were the first manufacturer to offer a gyro operated inside a vacuum, and the reason we did that is to bring the power consumption down dramatically so it doesn't draw nearly as much power as if you were operating that gyro in open air. It also takes substantially less time to spool it up, and you get much better stabilization out of a smaller unit because you can spin a larger flywheel at a higher rate of speed.
Much less noise too, right?
Much less noise. So operating that gyro inside of a vacuum, we had to cool the bearings, and we also had to operate bearings inside this completely sealed vessel in a vacuum. And so a lot of those concepts have been used for many, many years by NASA in the space station, as well as the Hubble telescope. And so those concepts being around for as long as they have, we pulled from a lot of that information and a lot of that knowledge base to design the Seakeeper gyro and create our patented bearing, vacuum, and cooling system that we use today. It's a very low maintenance unit because the Seakeeper gyro has very few moving components, very few mechanical components. And the warranty is a 2-year, 2,000-hour warranty. And we have a global network of certified service and installation centers. We have Seakeeper certified representatives and service technicians available for servicing your vessel anytime. It is the wave of the future.